Hey guys, welcome back to the Bulba Squad. Today we're going to be covering the idea of Champion's Path and how investable it is. But first, I have to explain that this isn't exactly me covering if it is investable because I don't. No one has the information for that. Anyone that says that they know that Champion's Path is going to be a really good product to invest in for the future, that it's going to be bigger than Hidden Fates or age fantastically, nobody knows. They're lying. the the most likely assumption a lot of us can make is that it's going to be very hype in the beginning and it could probably be an easy flip in the short term just because it's there's so much hype on it. But again, that's uncertain. Things can change. So take even that concept with a grain of salt. So today I'm going to be going over essentially how I approach modern, how I decide how much how much of a position I want to have in it, and how I kind of approach increasing or decreasing my position according to my time frames. And so, another thing I have to say is this is an expansion on my spider system, which I have a few videos labeled the spider system. I think, what is it? One of them is Cosmic Eclipse. I know that, and I believe another one. I don't remember anymore, but I made one more recently called Hidden Fates Investable. I made that name because probably more people will find it, and more people who are educated, the better all of us are off in this hobby. So I'll link those videos in the description, and I'm going to link the video that actually gave me the inspiration for this variant on the system by Rudy and Alpha Investments. So let's get started. So the way this works is I have little landmarks. So at the very beginning, I have the pre-order season, and oh, this marker's awful. Did it die? Ah, crap. Well, this marker is dead. Alright, so I have returned, and I have found another marker. So what I was saying is, the first part is the pre-order season, but because I have terrible handwriting and I write too big, I'm just going to write pre-order slash spoiler season. So this is whenever we're starting to get little hints of what the set will be, like set name, little mascot pictures, pack arts. We start speculating with Japanese sets, but Champion's Path kind of threw the Japanese part out the window, so things will be a little different from now on. Gonna have to figure that out. And this is where the hype really begins. Way back here, I cannot begin to make any form of prediction on what will happen to this set. In the long term, you can just have initial thoughts. Like if a set seems to already have a pretty solid foundation, like if there were released pack arts that have shinies on them, you know it's probably going to be pretty good. Kind of like Shiny Star V. We know the name, but it has shiny, so we're risking it on that, but we don't know if it'll actually pan out to be anything of value. The next date is the breaking street dates. So I'm abbreviating that to BSD. Sorry about my bad handwriting. And so the breaking street date, it's whenever we start getting all of those the set is starting to come out, but it's not officially out. It's what we're getting with Champion's Path right now, where we're getting all the full set lists and these cards are starting to come out at these ridiculously inflated prices. And then next we hit the actual release date. The real release date. Now we get to really see what's happening. We get to figure out pull rates. Just most people get to have their real hands-on experience with it and make up their minds. After that, we have the 6 month mark. So for the 6 month mark, actually let me put that further down. I realize I've been stretching these out a little too much. So for the 6 month mark, it's just again taking in the spider system, seeing how people taking it in, how is the supply looking, how are the prices in the secondhand market doing, how much are we paying for those booster boxes. For the 12 month mark, it's the same exact thing. However, I did forget to mention the reason I have these specific markers is because whichever tick we get past on this little chart, I consider it a reduction of risk. So now I need to start. I'll start the other one in one moment. Then we have the out of rotation, OOR. So here we go. Now I can actually show you why this matters. So the reason I created this is because at the end of the day, when it comes to investing in Pokemon or just collectibles in general, no, specifically Pokemon, because Pokemon is notorious for reprints. So the idea is we want to limit our exposure to the risk of a reprint. Now, it's not an exact science, not anyone. This will not be perfect. There will obviously be flaws in the system. Like, and the idea is we monitor the prices of things. So let's say MSRP is right here. My little board is a little too small, so MSRP, for those of you that don't know, that's the price that a product is when it initially releases its retail price. So the pre-orders are almost always MSRP initially. Then what happens is when the breaking street date occurs, there's usually some form of uptick. Usually it's if there's a few hype cards in the set, those will increase in value, and by extension some demand will increase, so prices will increase of everything. But remember, this isn't just the sealed product itself, it's an amalgamation of the intrinsic value and the sealed product price. Because if the intrinsic value is too high, it increases all the demand, which by extension causes the box to increase. And again, for intrinsic value, the layman's term is EV, expected value, but I use intrinsic value. Then at the release date, it usually tends to drop off a little bit because all of that extra product begins to hit the market. We saw it with Darkness Ablaze, probably going to see it a bit with Champion's Path. There's all this hype, prices go up, then they dip down once extra product hits the market, and then here's where it really matters. We hit the 6, 12, and 24 month mark, all the way into out of print. The reason this matters is this is where we really begin to kind of hold our breaths and see if a reprint will come. What I am specifically looking for in any of these points is a spike. If I see any form of spike, well, we don't have to see the downward part, but if I see any form of spike, I automatically become a little cautious of the set. The sooner the spike occurs, whether it be over here in the 6 month mark, the 12 month mark, or 24 month mark, all of them can be realistically bad, but the sooner it appears, the higher the risk of a reprint, because Pokemon, as they've already shown, really cares about if it's in rotation. Say what you will about Ultra Prism, via technicality, it was still in rotation when the reprint occurred. And remember, the reprint happening in factories is way before it hits the shelves. So when they did it, it was still modestly in rotation. So again, I'm going based off of out of rotation because I believe if you get out of rotation, the odds of a reprint occurring are so low, I don't really worry about it that much, because if it happens, it happens. I can't control that. I realize I've had that tilted. Whoops. Sorry about that, guys. I know that's going to bother some people. So, if a spike happens, like let's say Hidden Faith. Hidden Faith is a perfect example. Came out, huge hype, dipped down a little bit once it got really out there, but then in less than 6 months, we got a spike, hard spike. Think about how much it costs you to get a pack. If you can pick up a pack at, what is it, $8? That's pretty much a steal, because how much were those tins going for a while? $40? Somewhere between $30 to $40. I'm not sure, because the prices were just all over the place and they were switching so much. And then what did Pokemon do? They hit the reprint button. However, the demand was still so high that it wasn't enough, so they hit the reprint button again. And they're probably going to keep hitting it so long as it's in rotation and the prices just stay where they are. I don't know how many times they're going to hit it. The second time may be the last, but again, don't know. I still think Hidden Fates is relatively high risk, but the demand for it is so high it almost offsets the reprint. But that's a risk that a lot of us are willing to take, myself included. If it tanks, oh well, I have fantastic products. So, what I really look for is this spike again. If I see that spike within that 6 month mark, realistically, that spike occurs if I can no longer find this product in warehouses, I can no longer find it on shelves anywhere, and I realistically have to go to eBay to eBay or any market like that to find this product and it is way above MSRP. At that point, if I were sitting in that ivory white tower up there, I would smash that reprint button and let the printers go burr all day and all night. And with the recent Sun and Moon reprints, because the last video mentioned it, Unbroken Bonds is getting a reprint. I did get confirmation about that. That is still within rotation, and it still has a decent bit of time in it. And look at where the price is, $260 just about. I think it's $260 shipped. So like $280 out the door with tax. And that was still within rotation, but that price had gone more than what was that price? Like 150% above MSRP. And that solidified my resolve that spikes are not something I want to look for. I want in a set. A short-term spike is nice and all, but if it's too hard too fast, it signals a reprint. And every time we get past one of these milestones, and I believe the risk of a reprint gets lower, so long as you're within reason of a spike. What I'm looking for whenever I'm looking to invest is I want very steady, safe growth. I do not want a spike. I do not want ridiculous growth that's just instant. Instead, if I see this nice calm growth, I know this is going to fly under the Pokemon Company's radar. And if we can just get right here, get to base, get to Sanctuary, right here, and the price hasn't moved too much, then at that point, the risk is so low because, to my knowledge, Pokemon hasn't reprinted a set that's out of rotation. Base set has kind of been, it's a unique thing. Base set will get reprinted as many times as they want, whenever they feel like it. We all know base 2 Legendary Collection evolutions. But that's just a whole random thing I just wanted to throw in there. But if we can make it here, and let's say those booster boxes are 120, 130, maybe even 140, yeah, you're paying an extra premium versus if you had paid back here the $100 or $89, whatever you can manage to get the boxes at. But the risk-reward ratio is just, it's incredible. Yeah, you're paying more, but the risk you're undertaking is so much lower than if you purchase back here. If you purchase here and it spikes, then you are just biting your nails the entire time, hoping that Pokemon does not push the reprint button because it's still very new. Like Cosmic Eclipse is a set I'm personally a little wary of, because now that I looked at it more closely, because with these videos you guys have gotten to see me growing in my knowledge with this, which is why I always recommend take what I say with a grain of salt. Because Cosmic Eclipse is, I think it's nearing a year old, so we're right here, but it's, I think last I checked it was 160, 180. Maybe next time I'll do a little extra research on random sets that I may bring up. So by the time we reach that 2 year mark, how high is it going to be? Will Pokemon choose to do another reprint or do a reprint of it? If that happens, how much could it tank the product's value? Think of Ultra Prism. That thing was up to, I think I saw a couple sales the day the reprint was announced. No, it was a few days before that were around $500. And now it's all the way back down to 150. So if a reprint were to hit something that's at $260 like Unbroken Bonds, how far can it go? Back down to MSRP? If it hits something like Cosmic Eclipse, let's say in theory it goes up to 230 in a year, maybe even 300, just throwing stuff out there, how far would it tank it? So I just wanted to show that this is specifically the trend I look for. If I see this kind of trend happening, I will go and purchase the products at the end and increase my position in it. Obviously, I still have to analyze it with my little spider system and decide if I think it's a good product. Because for obvious reasons, even though Steam Siege is out of rotation, I'm not about to go and purchase 6 cases of that stuff. I think we all can agree on that one. So, and I did forget to mention, so if it were to reach this point, almost every set, it's okay to purchase 1 or 2 boxes of, but it's just really pick and choose. Obviously, you want to maximize how much your inventory can grow. So I just want to throw that in there because, again, I think that once you hit that out of rotation, which I didn't put an exact month on it because Pokemon can pick and choose what goes in and out of rotation, the sets are relatively safe. Relatively, because they could always just go back and change their mind. Because I don't know what they do. They sit in their ivory white towers while us commoners try to figure it out. If you can make it past here, the risk is so low. I think the little premium you pay, so long as it's within reason, is justifiable. And for Champions Path, everyone who's saying that this set is going to be amazing, it's going to age fantastically, it's just I've seen so much stuff on this. I'm gonna buy 100 ETBs of this. I'm gonna store every single product I can find. Hidden Fates has gone to 0. It doesn't matter anymore. It's just people are going so crazy over Champions Path. Meanwhile, I'm sitting over here going, "What? What are you talking about? You're talking about position over here? We're not even at release date. We're barely at breaking street date. How are you going to talk to me about having this ridiculous position in a set that we don't know anything about when we haven't even gotten to release date, let alone R plus 12 months or R plus 24 months?" If you want to open it and have fun, that's fantastic, but this is mainly for the people who want to invest in this set, and I really just wanted to warn people. It could go really well, because I was absolutely wrong about the Charizards being in that set. I know a lot of people saw that video, and I was going based off of the information I had on the time, and my god, I was so wrong. I did not expect them to not only drop the trophy card, but then give us an English first shiny Charizard. Oh my god. So again, this is just me going based off of what I know and what I believe. And I just want to give this knowledge to others, hear what they have to say, because every time you guys choose to critique something or provide input, I can then go back, reevaluate what I said, and then not only do I get to grow, but whenever I've grown enough that I feel comfortable making another video, I can then give that back to you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little rambly, sorry about that. And see you guys in the next one.